1 2, check 1 2. Oh, sorry.
It almost feels
Sure.
like
Yeah. But see, that's check 1 2 1 2. See, that's check 1 2 1 2.
play through the room.
Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 check 1 2 1 2.
On the Zoom, is there a way to mute the speaker?
I thought there was settings on here, like
The little wheel to the left.
yeah, this guy. Yeah.
So it's picking up our conversation right now.
Yeah. Through your phone.
Yeah.
So,
but not through the room.
But you can't talk back through that because it's only listening in. You know what I mean? It's only hearing in. So how's it?
So something on YouTube, something in this room is picking up on YouTube. I'm gonna try and go to the front of the room and use the front mic.
Yeah, if you want, but so the mic.
I'm almost led to believe it's the computer. Set up for the.
Get this. Hey, dude, can you come up here real quick? I just need help with a quick test. Thanks, dude. The 4-4 in the control room. Thanks, man. Bye. Yeah, but I'm gonna call or like I don't see what. All right. Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3.
Whatever you just did.
Hey, Ron. The the thing was 1 2 3 4 5.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Test, mic check.
Who's this for?
That's a great question. I bet the law.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Test. This may be for out there.
Sorry, I had all the microphones muted. You can try it again now, sir.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that works well. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds good. If you. Are you?
You don't see them, there's a,
Okay. Can you hear me now? Testing 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3. All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the sound kind of crescendos to the back. It's not super loud in the front, so it might be a
Can you
little.
hear me okay back there?
Oh, super.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Because the ceiling height and it's a really fine line of being close to the speakers and getting feedback and stuff. So all the setting.
I'm pretty tall.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's.
Yeah,
I think this is a good height.
engineered. That
Yeah.
you don't have to bend
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. This is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right here, they don't have it like blurting out in your face.
Back, it's good. Yeah, good.
This is maybe 1%, and then it goes to
What's
20.
this?
That's a clicker.
That advances the slides.
Yeah.
It'll be the,
Oh, okay.
Chris is changing the slides.
Yeah. And it'll
just change the logo.
A little bit like the logo.
Oh, for each one of the, okay.
Did you wanna
Go through those, yep,
preview?
go through all the.
Works for USA.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is it up here?
As you get the request for that.
You would have to ask Greg up there, but I think they are live streaming.
Lavalier too.
General, Admiral, this is the awardee,
Correct.
this is General Brown.
Him and Mike Polo.
I saw her.
I'll let him.
Yeah, I ran out, caught him. And,
So I'm on this side.
but I'll
Just test this.
yeah, he's never here.
Oh, they're back there.
They're back.
You're just gonna use the same one?
Okay, I think you are live streaming this.
Display only, we're just.
Yeah, I'm just gonna confirm.
At the end, we're gonna give them these.
The sound can kind of go through a little bit. Like you can talk, it should reach all the way in through here, but
I'll have to ask Olivia.
sound is it kind of comes through a little bit. Hey everybody, good morning. Good morning. Check 1 2 1 2.
Might be part of that.
So who's gonna be over here?
Walking.
Very good, so you got them in the right order.
Correct. I'll check them again, but I have them in the right order, yes.
Or,
This in this area. Like for speed, like we can have time, but sometimes get dirty.
what, Air Force?
Or,
What?
Coast Guard.
No,
It's not
should
Coast
be, it should be,
Like
Well, we don't have a Space Force.
Okay,
full
Coast Guard.
speed.
This is
And then
the-
DHA.
yeah, yeah, you got 'em. Top to bottom. So we're gonna make,
So
General Brown does
Mhm.
that, so Charlie will be over there.
So Charlie's going to speak. He'll introduce you for opening remarks. And then you can be seated, no, you'll stay up here. Because then he'll go right into the program.
Well, I'm gonna stay up here.
Correct.
For the short remarks I make
Is he the one
out there,
Mhm.
I just stand kind of where Doreen is. Okay, and then no microphone, I'll just say, hey, thanks everybody for being here, blah, blah, blah.
He has a microphone for outside.
Not sure I
No,
need one.
no. Okay, just talk about, they don't actually have speakers up there. No, you can have a microphone. It wouldn't be doing anything.
Vice Admiral or just the whole thing? Vice Admiral.
And
All I'm doing out there is welcome everybody and I'm gonna, all
Thank you.
all the sponsors.
I do that, yeah, but I try to give a little response, you know?
That's just their flag sponsor.
Yeah.
so Charlie will introduce the service chief. The service chief will come up and speak.
So I guess I'll.
Where am I, where's General Brown and I? You gonna sit back down or do we stand over here? I don't wanna be over here, I don't think. I don't wanna either sit down.
I think, yeah, I think it depends, depends on how long the service chief speaks. So in the past, you've usually both of you stood off with the wings.
Yeah, or maybe I just stand.
If
Let them speak there. Do I come over here?
you could, if you.
Well,
stand
I'm
here-
gonna speak, then General Brown's gonna speak. Then we're both gonna be done. His is short.
Super short, and
So-
then Charlie says 3 paragraphs, and then he starts to introduce the service. So I don't think there's
I'm-
enough content to.
Yeah, I'm just worried about being a distraction for,
So the camera will not see you standing here.
Yeah, it cuts off right about here.
okay,
And it won't be
wonder
a
if I can-
distraction for the room if either of you stand on either side.
but I guess what I'm saying is, I'm gonna speak. I can move out of the way there. General Brown's gonna speak. He and I both will move out of the way over here, I think.
Okay, so right here, Vice Admiral, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
you're French.
Yes, I'm French.
Correct.
I just wanted to get your actual title down. so- But yeah, so if you wanna come here closer, you'll see, blah, 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 and if I'm you, I'm standing like right there, you're not
I
seeing
would
me.
have General Brown if he speaks, just go ahead and go here because Charlie's been front of
Okay. So, all right, so he'll go over by the black table and then I'll come over here.
Coming to check in.
Something like, okay, sir.
That'd be good. So then they'll come up, they'll speak when they're done. Then all move out here, back here. General Admiral goes there, the recipient goes there, General Brown
Right,
comes
so
there.
what happens though, you go to the photo, so Charlie introduces service.
Like anything we do, the Army sets the tone. We gotta just tell the Army how to do it and everything else runs like clockwork.
And I'm gonna sit here, and so you see me like. Photo.
Yeah.
I got it. I'm good. Good. Oh, good. That was good. Oh, well.
Did you want this blank or did you want anything on here? Just leave it like this, okay. This will be kind of like what the world's seeing.
Right. So live stream is that view?
Basically, exactly this.
Okay.
But is this out or this is the Zoom, but it'll get shot out to YouTube in a second.
Okay.
Or going live.
Going live later.
Not I think 10, yeah.
Can I just leave this here?
Oh my gosh. No worries.
Marines will be number two, right? Army's first. Ours, I said, so you'll come up, be called up here. Say what you're gonna say about your awardee. And then the awardee comes up. I'll be over here, four of us, and General Brown, who's our chairman, he'll be over there. I'll come here for this. He'll be here. The awardee will be here. General Brown. I think. Yeah, right.
Easy. I've got.
Just follow the Army, like we
That's it.
do on every one of these exercises.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's it. That's the sound.
We could lay them right here.
Well.
We don't need the keyboard. You could set them right
Yeah,
here.
good.
Yeah, that'll work.
How about that?
Perfect.
Great.
You can go through it again, because I'm not, most importantly, just do what the Army does. Do what the Army does.
I'm telling you,
Johnny's in charge.
unbelievable, that's trouble. I just,
You got a second, sir?
yeah, it's gonna hide my speech here somewhere. Oops, I just lost somebody else.
We'll
Let's
figure
see.
it out. Figure it out.
There, can I hide it? Under this one, like this. All right, yeah.
General,
Yeah, good to see you.
Chick right out.
Yeah, good to see you.
so he runs all this in addition to everything else. He's my chairman of the arms.
My spare time.
Does all this, just got done with AUSA, which is very
Yeah.
good to see with them. Probably the most successful one you've ever
Yeah,
had.
it was unbelievable.
40 plus,
Yeah,
40,000
yeah,
plus. points.
90 countries.
Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, it's just unbelievable interest, especially Europe. That's all of a sudden. I realized the coach may put him in the game, you know, it's like, oh shit, I better practice, you know, I better get serious. Unbelievable, you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And where are you at?
So I'm the director of manpower.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
A repeat offender.
Yeah, that's great, though, yeah. I was, in the Pacific with Big Burger.
Okay.
You know, we were out there together and US Army Pacific, on a foot back.
Okay.
Had a fun time.
Good man.
Good, very good. Oh, great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, really did. And,
Visionary.
yeah, that's great.
You want a 30-second brief?
Yeah, no, got it. Go ahead. Yeah, no, I'll take 30.
So,
See where we stand.
yep, exactly. So Charlie comes up, starts it off. with
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Speak for a minute.
Okay.
You see him, you
Okay.
speak for-
That's not till like 10:30.
Yeah, exactly.
We do breakfast.
Breakfast for all that, yeah, but I don't think
middle
there's any, yeah, middle round. I'll say a couple words out there.
Okay.
Breakfast, nothing
Yeah.
behind a podium.
Yeah.
I'll say, thanks for being here. And then, when it's time,
I'm
you
on the
finish,
far
you're
side.
gonna stay, you're gonna be over there, I'm gonna be over here.
Okay.
And then when the generals, admirals come up to speak, when they're done and they call up their recipient,
We come up.
we become bookends.
Okay.
I'm here, you're there,
Okay.
the two folks, and you'll have
The award.
the award
Handle. Okay.
just the paper, not, we're not gonna try to do anything with a weighted thing.
What do you think
Last
last
year.
year?
No, I think
When they
that
walk
Halverson
away,
and
give
I,
it to 'em? Hobby's a little weak, though. Our children guys. You know, I think I can handle it, but.
you gave it to Senator Gold.
Yeah.
Here you go. Oh, better get out of
Too
here.
heavy. Introduce you to around, this is
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for
Twig's last name. Yeah, this is,
Good morning, Bill French.
Admiral.
Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. This is my wife, Ashley.
Hey, Ashley, Bill French. Nice to meet you.
Army honoree.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Where are you at again?
Fort Moore.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Which unit?
Yeah.
Med. So I'm over at the hospital.
Okay.
Now I'm running just the training for all the soldiers for all the hospital.
13 total hospital, this is 13,000 soldiers a day.
That's, I just come from 30th AG.
Yeah.
Processing all
Help
this.
them with that, yeah, yeah. They do
Long
hospital
day.
nights.
It is.
Yeah. What they do with the old one, dude?
They're in the process of tearing it down
Are they,
right now.
they're using it for training, you know, you have to use.
Yeah, they
realize.
probably 2 months ago started
Yeah.
tearing it down.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I commanded there when it was Penney's, 2010, 2012. Columbus.
You're not Norseman.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
come out there.
yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, all right, see,
Out of the Chattanooga, you pull out of the fishing line.
Oh, yeah.
An alligator?
I've had some
Huge
big
bass.
ones chasing my line.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's great. Super. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Very, very.
some of the, that alligator or that, right, the tire people were going through the water, trying to evacuate.
Yeah.
Because the water got, and these out, they were biting the tires of people's cars.
Unbelievable. It rained.
It was bad enough, right? Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
angry.
Unbelievable. Super. Back to your.
Thank y'all.
Good to meet you. Like always, the army leads the way.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to show everybody, everybody else comes in behind.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We do one thing right.
Yeah.
Read from the front.
Great.
Let me, shake.
How you doing? Good to see you.
As always, good to see you. So let's knock out some. Okay. You can magnet or you could click it. Have it under.
How are you, sir?
Well, ma'am, how are you? You getting all
Good.
set up?
Absolutely. Where do you want our?
You were here last year,
I
Were
was here,
2 years ago.
2 years ago when the soldier was from Schofield Barracks.
Right. And you were promotable back then.
That's correct.
And now it looks a lot better.
Well, thank you so much.
That's awesome. Yeah, thanks for coming back.
It's good to be here.
So-
I've not done it here. We've done it, I was at the one in
We
Crystal
haven't,
City.
we haven't done it here yet either. So
Okay.
This is
A
new
new?
for us. So are you doing the Army one?
I'm
Are you-
doing the DHA one.
DHA, okay, great.
So I'm here for General Cross.
Perfect. Tell her thanks for allowing us. And also we finally got the MOU signed for us to do, you're probably not involved in this, but for us to do children's waiting room at all the different
That's
facilities.
so good.
It's
Because
really
we've always had it at Schofield.
Yeah, you
So,
have,
uh,
yes.
So we've had it at
Yeah,
Schofield
well-
for a long time.
Army's done the best job and the Army just keeps on growing. So we're gonna do one at Brooks. The next
Wonderful.
one, we just opened one, soft opening up with Joint Base Lewis McChord. And then I would say of the 17 or 18, probably 14 are affiliated with the Army, just because you guys are so easy to do. So we really wanted it, so we can go to the Air
Have you
Force and
done,
maybe.
have you done one at Fort Belvoir yet?
No.
That would be a great one.
It would be. I think we'll do that. Right now in DC, we're gonna open up about a 250 space childcare center in Shirlington, which is only a 5-minute drive to the Pentagon.
Oh,
Maybe
that'll be
5
really
minutes from
nice.
Meyer, like
Yeah.
Henderson Meyer.
That'll
So
be a
we're
good
focused
spot.
on that right now, and I think after that, yeah, we'd love to be able to do some sort of drop off care at, when you talk to them, they don't, anytime you go to doctors, you talk about their hospitals, the first thing they're taught at some school, I think, is, I'm sorry, we don't have space. And they-
Figure it out.
Yeah, well, the Army figures it out, everybody else goes, we should have space, so we'll get through it. But yeah, it'd be a great opportunity for us to be able to do that.
Can I just leave this here?
Yes, ma'am, and then
Okay.
when you just follow the Army, so that they're gonna be the first one, you're gonna go, when you're done speaking, you're gonna come over here. Okay? Yeah, and your recipients. I'll be here, you'll be here, recipients here, General Brown will be over there.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Hello, how are you? We met in the elevator. Just briefly, seriously. Thank you so much. And so I think you heard, so when I speak and you speak and we go through those, and I think you are in the sort of, you and I are in this middle, but I don't know if we're. if it's-
Yeah, so I'm a French will be here, General Brown will be here,
And then, right
you're
here.
right here,
and you're
and
here.
you're gonna be right here.
And then the good news is we don't go first, so we're disqualified.
Yeah, it's not fine. Hi. Hi, Karina. Thank you.
So that, again, like I said, Deidre, you're doing the, like Callahan, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's Irish like Callahan, it just spelled like. Well, so what's interesting is, when they came over from Ireland, it was not good to be Irish at the time. And so they changed the A to the E as if no one would notice they were Irish. So they changed the spelling when they came to the United States, so they confused words. So it should have an A, like it's.
So,
So my own district is Irish. My mom told me advocated my father said. So they named me Charles Francis. I go to Ireland for a tour there.
That's funny.
So you were with us last year as well.
So the year that the Schofield Barracks NCO won the RP awards. Cause I was in San Antonio last year and I know I didn't.
What place your what's your biggest
No,
district?
we haven't done it here, so this is good. And new
So
venues.
are you at DHA?
I am on the Bethesda campus, so I run the national capital region for DHA, so all the Maryland, DC, Virginia hospitals.
Okay. Well, thank you for doing that. I'm one of your customers and I appreciate fun life.
Good. I hope you get good care. I want to make sure we have a new patient guidebook. And I'll have a QR code, I'll get it to you, and it tells you how to navigate everything. We try to streamline it all. No, Genesis, I can't help you. No, but we will get there with the new HR, but it's right now still.
I actually have a very good friend who works in Pentagon. She is the school deputy assistant staff deputy.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. And she's now active, well, she will be active as, yeah, the honorable Martinez Lopez is stepping down. That time of the year, right? It's that time of the year.
Yeah, it's getting there. There's really not school going on yet. Yeah. She is very good. She and
Oh, that's awesome. Well, when my aide gets in, I'll make sure I give you the QR code so that you can see how easy we've streamlined it. We've spent a good bit of time trying to figure out how to make it as easy as possible to get all the. So I think we made some nice strides. We're not done yet. I'm never done on that, but it was enough that we actually put out a new guideline to manage it. So I'll make sure I get that to you.
Yes, it's something different. It's, scary. Okay, so. Well, if I was finished, I'd say Thanksgiving, but I'm not, and I was, yes, exactly, so I say it's different way. Is very different. Oh, very different. Yeah. So, yeah, my pleasure. Okay. 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 On this side. Okay. And okay. So that's yeah, my dear. Okay. Yeah. Training, so my deputy, my deputy thing. So that's the decks. Yeah, and then, but then, yeah, and then I feel worthwhile, though, I would say, things, when we visited our league only. Exactly, yes. That was my fun. Everybody has to have entertainment. Always. Yeah. Yes. It's actually an art. Really? Yes. Oh, it is. But I call it macrame just to watch it. Really like them. Yeah. So fantastic. Any questions? Well, actually, so that's the Port Art soldier. If when General Brown comes up and Sergeant Major can come up and just stand on the end as well, that would be part of that. Absolutely. Great. Thank you. Oh, that's more the merrier. Yep. And then the other services may follow.
So this
We
is
will
that,
also
and this is
do,
what-
So, good news is she followed the army. So the Army comes up, watch what the Army does, and then do that. But so it's Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, so you'd be the fourth up. You'll be called up, probably Charlie. Have you met?
Yes.
Charlie, okay.
Not yet. Jason, Charlie Williams.
Charlie
Nice
will
to
call
meet
you up. You'll be able to say your comments here. Your awardee will come up. He'll be able to he, right? He.
Say again?
What's it?
She.
She, okay, she'll be able to come up, say whatever she's gonna say, and then I'll be standing over there. General Brown will be over there. Once she's done, then we'll all walk towards the center. You'll be here. She'll be here. General Brown's there and I'm there.
We got our chief with us too.
You want-
Are we
you
the
want the
only
chief?
one? If the chief can be up there, that'd be great.
We can do that.
Absolutely.
What,
On the far left, I think, by General Brown.
Yeah, I would be over here.
you wanna be over here? You want, well, General Brown's gonna have to be.
Right.
Yes.
She's gonna
We
be-
have an extra one, also gonna have to be on this side.
Yeah, here.
That way everybody can get them right up.
Over here.
So.
So it's.
Hey.
So it's me.
You.
You.
Honorary. General Brown.
Who has the certificate?
All those six. We're all over there. We'll give it to you. We'll be next to you.
There's this, you'll see now, not feeling off at all.
Not a bit.
You're gonna do, when I call you, just come straight before you.
So what is
She has remarks though, right? Yes.
Yes, so
So after this, after the board presentation, looking over before the after.
Right,
Okay.
so,
All right, okay, good. I'm glad we had this
so,
conversation.
yes, so he'll introduce you. You introduce the honoree, walk up to the photo.
Yeah.
And present it to your head, and then you can see it. And the honoree.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right. Good. Follow me on that.
I was reminded by the Army, you know, and
Only goes up.
All good.
And then. And then.
Oh, my father, we served in the Army Air Corps. I think you might have read it.
Yeah, I mean, we are a child of the army.
Well,
And now they have grandchildren.
yeah, that's right. Well, they're more like your kids, right? They're more aligned to you than the other.
We're not the youngest in there.
Yeah.
I'm 55, I guess 15 years citizen.
But we'll find out.
oh, if I can remind you.
Oh, your hat.
They're my phone, easy to get discounts. And, had some foreman, I guess, go over it.
No, I was thinking that
Take my
somebody.
vital.
It's a merce. It's a merce.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was
I
called.
can call him a yellow.
I haven't had that problem here.
I'd be surprised.
Okay. Here's it. So, I guess now I'm extra making sure everybody knows, so. And now.
Yeah.
Do you want, since you're gonna come up for the. Okay. For you, I love it, I love it. Does she need to watch the? Yeah, do you have anything? Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay.
So,
Yes, yes. So let me just see what this circle.
I'm gonna
Oh,
leave.
yes,
your hat with him, I don't anticipate you having to leave,
great.
and I'll be back.
Yeah, that's fine. There. I'm still mom. Yeah.
Pulling around right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, no. But I don't really care where I go. My kids are in Colorado, or finally, so no matter where I go, I get that home. I'm like west in Colorado, tiny closer, still got flat anyways. I was like, no matter where I go, I got to take a flight. So I'm just really like, I'm kind of open to going anywhere.
His town is by far more than a recruiting station.
They could, yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah,
He did, in my mind. Yeah, that was, I'd say definitely it's grade 11.
oh, yeah.
Not that I'm
Yeah.
contingent. Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just, it's my first time this year. So I was, yes, so I got my visa. So I went to college for a couple years. Also my program, my life quite far.
just under 9. That's like, if I make, because I want to say a year at vision, that's the five. Then I was gonna go to that. And now force. And then at the time, all congratulations. But you know, it worked out. It was funny that it's funny that year because I picked up our exam, I'll run up the district exam, and then our third place went after that. And we number one started the rain. So on the top of the CMC or so it's cheap now, Chevy Ford just picked up. And then I get together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I was at the time. Okay. I went to get GTS time. I mean, New Jersey. I was in there. Yeah. And before I got I-8, I was at Lakers. When I was gone, shut that down. When I first got there, it was Collins. Tired. It was actually my first one. When I checked in, it was Chief William. Oh, Justin Radel. I never moved there. Now Mass Chief. Second Chief. No, it's a claim. Because later it is. Who's that? Oh, yeah. Oh, really? No, you didn't. Right, personality. Oh, yeah. Knows name. His background. Whether he uses the same one. Yeah. Alex. We'll see. I won't pop out. I just, it's not.
I mean, not that I would want to have it, but bottom line is, he's got kids, man, so I mean, that's more important than mom. So that was the smell. That's not. No, no, I was there.
I gotta change my silver color here in December. Yeah, so. Plastic, I'm a plastic, that's what it is. Yes, I was. Before 1958. But what I was explaining is that we have extra cultural stuff.
Because the kidney stones is our technology. Same thing. How's it? Ours is rock. Yeah.
Are you doing questions?
Yes.
Okay, that one,
Yes.
watch them do that.
Yes.
They say it feels like getting cracked.
Well, here's the thing. The really good thing is
They like it, but it's like,
So-
you know, I think it's gonna, it's like,
And-
it's different.
so the thing about it's probably our number one innovation. The doctor will now get this. This is what they expect from the European doctor. Yes, all the advice. Yes. Oh, you got one, you take one out, that's what, we have probably 15 questions for use our technology. Yeah, it's all right. So it's interesting when, workers on the. I think, so here's what, what happens is in the early days, they found better outcomes, not necessarily. So he never. Below you, the hospital power, it's only to get better outcomes. Yeah, well, very impressed. Well, yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. So we work with largely key groups. A lot of people. They already write down those practices for this technology. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, awesome.
Oh, you know what I mean? I don't know.
What an easy job. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll bring one. Honestly, to be honest. switched the belt. The dog on him, very happy, very happy.
My ex-husband driver, she's only one.
Yeah. 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 Okay, that's good. It's hard. That was a part, yeah.
Kristen, will you take this back to the sound, that guy, to Greg? We don't need that at all up here.
That's good. Yeah.
I will never get any point.
Oh, my God.
It only takes one. It only takes one.
That sudden stop.
What we will stop at some point. A good friend of mine. They were getting ready to go.
Yeah, it's my wife. Yeah, I'll get that in. I'm at your house. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, you were the whole bunch of stories. One thing we were between, like all kinds of, and we said, you know, well, now Avery got it. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, really? Wow. Because I had a guy who had surgery. I hear that yellow thing is sign color. Yeah. Awesome.
And I was supposed to go out and swim. You exactly.
Yeah.
That morning, I started laughing. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. My husband's like, oh, it's not okay. Like, I feel over and then.
Oh, my God.
One of the guys swimming 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And so by the 30 minutes, I think, I love all.
Oh, my God.
I could not stay because it needs to.
Yeah, no. Must have scared you.
So wine country came down, I'm like, I didn't realize.
Yeah. Yeah. That's How long before you?
Well,
Couple days?
no, the next day it's hard.
Next day, maybe. Yeah, yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick heads up, we're going to begin in 5 minutes. We are starting the live stream now, and I would ask everybody to please turn your cell phones on mute or off. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Charlie Williams, Rear Admiral, United States Navy, retired, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Chief Operating and Programs Officer at Armed Services YMCA. I want to welcome you to the 18th Annual Angels of the Battlefield Awards press event. It's wonderful to see all of you in person here today and to know that so many others are watching via live stream. I'd like to introduce the President and CEO of Armed Services YMCA, Vice Admiral Bill French, for some introductory remarks.
Thanks, Charlie. Thank you all for being here. It's a gorgeous day, and thanks to AUSA. Where's General Brown? General Brown, thanks so much for hosting this and allowing all of us service members who may not be in the Army to benefit from being in this great place. As Charlie said, for the last 18 years, we have done a ceremony recognizing the Angels of the Battlefield. And I think for those of you who haven't seen this event before, you'll walk away with great appreciation of what these young men and women have done to protect and support their fellow service members. So why do we do this event? This organization was established in November 15th of 1861. We're the oldest continuously serving military support organization in the country. And back then, we had only volunteers, and these volunteers went out on the battlefields during the Civil War and provided support to those injured soldiers. They were referred to as Angels of the Battlefield, and they're in the name of this event. They also, when they weren't on the battlefield, would come off and support these warriors different ways. They taught them how to read in some cases. They provided coffee. They provided other things. So fast forward to today, we at the Armed Services YMCA do not go on battlefields. We leave that to the professionals, many of which are in this room. But we do a lot of the things that those initial volunteers performed off the battlefield. So we provide support both to military members and their families. By the end of this year, we project we will support 300,000 military members, spouses, or kids. And we do that through 13 branches, 25 YMCA affiliates to support almost now 100 different installations across the country, to include those in Alaska and in Hawaii. The majority of the service families that we support are from the junior enlisted ranks. That's pay grades E5 and below. And I will tell you, there's many things we do, but I think the things that make the biggest difference in the lives of those young men and women and their families is childcare, all types of childcare, from drop-off care to before and after school care to full-day childcare. Youth development programs, and the last one that I would like to get out of the business, but it's responding to food insecurity. We still have a food insecurity issue amongst our service members. Some statistics say as high as 25% of those junior enlisted have challenges addressing food insecurity. So we're there, we're here for them, and we distribute millions of pounds of food a year to support them. So none of this would be possible without a few different things. One is our partners at the Department of Defense and all the leaders of all the services. Tireless efforts by many passionate volunteers and staff, and the unwavering support and generosity of our donors. I mentioned most all the donors earlier, but two in particular I want to recognize. One is American Airlines, that's our platinum sponsor. American Airlines is here now. How about a round of applause for American Airlines? Thank you very much. And then, of course, our venue host, our venue sponsor, AUSA, who's provided this great facility. General Brown, thank you and your team. Now, most importantly, my most important job is to introduce my boss, the chairman of the Armed Services YMCA, the CEO of the AUSA, an all-around wonderful man, General Bob Brown.
Thanks. Well, flattery will get you everywhere, Bill, no doubt about that. We love the Navy. He keeps insinuating that the Army doesn't like, we're an amazing team. It's an incredible team. There's one day of the year we don't like the Navy, though. But it's going to be a heck of a game this year, both undefeated. And who knows what's going to happen. But other than that, we love the Navy, for sure. No, I heard that go Navy there. I'm sorry. No. Beat Navy is what you're supposed to say. Yeah. So anyway, so on behalf of the National Board of Directors, I just want to welcome you and express my congratulations to this year's amazing stories and this year's recipients. Congratulations. I'll tell you, it makes us all proud, just unbelievable. And I'm so glad you're being recognized, no doubt about it. We, as Bill mentioned, host this annual event to pay tribute to the amazing brothers and sisters in arms who perform at the highest levels and do so much for our military. I can tell you, when you're in harm's way, the reason you go out is because you're going to get the best medical care and you're going to be taken care of. And that's a reason we wouldn't do it otherwise. So it's absolutely critical. And anyone who's ever been fortunate enough to wear the uniform and serve the United States military knows just how important all these folks are, how critical it is, and the reason we do what we do, no doubt about it. And they often are, first on the scene, chaotic scenes, often, average person would panic in a situation like that, but they don't. They are highly trained and they respond in risky, tough situations, and quite honestly, what they do is save lives. So we can go home to our families, and we're just grateful for that, no doubt about it. So please enjoy today's award ceremony, and again, it's so incredible that the Armed Services YMCA, all of us on the board, and by the way, the board members, you raise your hand there, board members. All right, look at, thank you, great support. All volunteers that do it, because we have seen all that Armed Services YMCA does. It's amazing, and how they help our families. There's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marine, Coast Guardsmen, Guardians, what they do, and our great civilians, military civilians. I was going to say DA civilians, but it's more than part of the Army civilians. It's all our great civilians out there that help in the military. So today, again, just rest assured, the great team out there, Armed Services YMCA, will have your back, and they're there to take care of our young men and women and their families in so many ways and all they do. So just very proud to support and very proud of all that they do. So again, congratulations to the recipients, and look forward to a great award ceremony where we can recognize them here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General Brown. We hold, as has been said, we hold the Angels of the Battlefield Awards every year in order to recognize the bravest people among us. The men and women who don't flinch when they hear medic up or the sound of a distress call. They often run towards danger and put themselves in harm's way, and they often find themselves in those very difficult and daunting situations. But they still come every single time. That's why we honor civilian and military first responders. We have immense admiration for this year's cadre of honorees. They serve in many capacities and they take on significant responsibilities in their day-to-day lives to support both military and civilian members here at home and abroad. These awards specifically recognize the courage, the quick action, and the selfless nature of these first responders, the medics, corpsmen, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, and paramedics. Since 2006, Armed Services YMCA has recognized 81 Angels of the Battlefield, and we add 6 more to that cadre here today, now to present this year's honorees. General Brown and Admiral French will assist our esteemed presenters from each branch of service in handing out this year's Angel of the Battlefield Awards. We will present the awards in the order of creation of the branch of service as recognized by the Department of Defense. So we begin with the United States Army. To shine light on the award-worthy efforts of their honoree and present the Army Angel of the Battlefield Award, we are joined today by Lieutenant General Mary Izagiri, United States Army Surgeon General and Commanding General, U.S. Army Medical Command.
Well, thank you very much. And I will, I know General George would want to make sure I mention that as the oldest branch, we look forward to celebrating our 250th this coming year, and invite you all to the birthday party. So good morning. What a privilege to be here today and to celebrate these Angels of the Battlefield. And to the Armed Forces YMCA, thank you for providing such a fantastic venue. I had the opportunity to be part of this ceremony in Hawaii, and it's wonderful to see it continued over here on this side. So I want to introduce to you our honoree, Sergeant First Class Tyler Twigg. Today we recognize his heroism, his volunteerism, his willingness to help when it wasn't his job. He wasn't on duty when this event occurred. It was actually February of this year, and Sergeant First Class Twigg's duties as the Martin Army Community Hospital's Operations and Training NCO led him to the Central Issue Facility. So he was out doing the good work, getting the equipment he needed, and really just there to be a customer. But while he was waiting, being the medic that he is, he noticed some panic going on amongst the employees, and they were told that a fellow employee in the back was choking. He immediately went back to assess the situation and see where he could provide help. And sure enough, there was a gentleman back there who was choking, clearly in distress. And right away, he sprung into action, began working on the patient as well as saying, hey, call 911, exactly according to our training. And this wasn't resolved immediately. It took about 5 minutes where he cleared the gentleman's airway, but then the gentleman still had an obstruction. And Sergeant First Class Twigg stayed with him, moved on the next set of maneuvers, and continued to work with the patient until until help arrived. They took him in, got him stabilized, and so he saved this gentleman's life. Had he not been here, I hate to think what would have happened. But in this event, his training really sprung into action. And I think that's where I got to talk to Sergeant First Class Twigg a little bit today. And he, like many of us, joined the Army in order to have that sense of purpose, that sense of having a life of consequence. And I think we can see that he did that. Now, like most Army leaders, he didn't do this alone. He is grateful for the support of his wife, Ashley. He's a very committed husband and father to their 3 children, Merrick, Amari, and Irie, excuse me. And so I am so excited to see where he will go next. He's been in the Army for 12 years already, had experiences deploying to Afghanistan and Romania, and says he just really wants to be able to make a difference as a medic and help others. So it is my extreme honor and pleasure to be here to recognize Sergeant First Class Twig today.
She made that sound way better than I would have. So, no, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Just wanted to thank the Armed Services YMCA, my leadership for taking the time out to come support me, and as well as my wife. She got in 12:30 last night to be here to support me. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, General Izagiri, and congratulations to Sergeant First Class Twig. Now we move on to the United States Marine Corps to recognize and present the Marine Corps Angel of the Battlefield Award to a Navy hospital corpsman. I'd like to welcome Major General Ryan Rideout, the Director for Manpower Management Division.
Hey, well, good morning. I think we'll all probably echo same thanks to the folks who put this on. This is really impressive. Quite frankly, before I got asked to do this, this was the first I'd ever heard of this. So impressive what you all do. I think this is an incredible honor to get up and see some incredible patriots and medical professionals be recognized. So on behalf of our Commandant, General Eric Smith, it's my pleasure today to recognize Petty Officer First Class Bobby R. Phillips, Jr., and I'm excited that his wife Megan could be here with us today as well to see this. HM1 Phillips is a Special Operations, or SOF, I'll probably say that a lot during this, medic and medical advisor serving with 3rd Marine Raider Battalion, Marine Forces Special Operations Command. They're based in Stone Bay, North Carolina. He's been serving our nation, I would say heroically, for a while now, 11 years. And this is, I'd say, first and foremost, thanks for what you do. On a 6-month deployment to the Indo-PACOM AOR, Philippines, we're not supposed to say, he provided training assistance to foreign partners and led a dedicated aid station for multiple units, totaling about 160 host nation special operations forces. He trained those host nation medics on tactical combat casualty care, or TCCC. In other words, he trained them in clinical encounters, advanced diagnostic techniques, and mass casualty management. And he played a pivotal role in improving a remote hospital by providing guidance on clinical and trauma treatment, organization, and equipment procurement. In total, he supervised and guided clinical care to over 100 patients in remote island communities and dedicated over 200 hours in training host nation SOF partners. And as it turns out, he was a pretty good instructor. In one instance, during an attack on the partner force that he was supporting, he and some of those same medics that he had trained effectively managed 3 urgent trauma cases caused by multiple gunshot and shrapnel wounds. The care that they provided at the point of injury there directly contributed to the survivability of those patients, who were then transferred and managed to the clinic where HM1 Phillips was working in that Rule 1 clinic. Not just there on the battlefield. On 2 separate occasions, HM1 Phillips received what we're calling pediatric patients. I say kids. One was a patient that had sustained traumatic injuries due to a motor vehicle accident. HM1 Phillips swiftly acted to stabilize the child, and then for 3 hours worked with host nation personnel directing pain management, supportive care, first aid, all while coordinating air medevac for that patient and their family to higher level care. In another instance, HM1 Phillips encountered a 2-month-old baby who was experiencing severe respiratory distress. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, he swiftly intervened with life-saving measures and then continued to monitor and direct essential care for nearly 2 hours until that patient was also air medevaced. He was regarded as the most sought-after medical provider in his remote area of operation, and he consistently delivered life-saving treatment and expertly advised ground force commanders on rapid air medical transport. His impact, I would say, both on the host nation military as well as the local community, set a very high standard of excellence. I've just finished it with, I think his commander summarized it best when he said, Petty Officer Phillips' talented application of soft capabilities under challenging conditions is a testament to the legacy of battlefield medics. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to introduce Hospital Corpsman First Class Bobby R. Phillips, Jr.
Morning, everyone. Same, I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. First, I want to say thank you to the Armed Services YMCA and everybody that contributed to putting together this event. It's an honor to be up here today receiving this award as the Marine Corps' nominee. I also want to congratulate all the other awardees today as well. And I want to say thank you to my command. Without their nomination, I would not be here today celebrating this with my wife, Megan, and getting to meet everyone here. So thank you.
It's a very well-deserved honor, Pastor Phillips, and I want to say thank you again to General Rideout. Our next recipient is another hospital corpsman. There's a little Navy theme there, sir. To present this award, I would ask Rear Admiral Robert Hawkins, the Chief of U.S. Navy Nurse Corps, to join me at the podium.
Well, good morning. And I'll echo the thanks for this wonderful event. And certainly, I'm very proud of all the recipients of the awards today. It's very impressive. I do want to introduce HN1. And before I talk more about him, you know, when I was looking at him, you'll notice on his uniform that he was wearing a Purple Heart. And what was funny about it to me as I was preparing for this talk, I had to find out about that award. And I think it speaks to the character of HM1 Hardebeck. He is selfless and courageous. And I'll talk a little bit about the event that HM1 got this award for, but it occurred to me that it's really a pattern of behavior. In the face of an enemy that knows no bounds. So his award, and many of you may remember it, I do, it was Christmas Day last year. And he was part of an EMU that was in Erbil. And since early October of last year, that area was under intermittent but frequent attack from the enemy. And on Christmas Day, no accident for our enemy to attack on that day. So he's there, and he does what he does. Immediately hops up, takes himself out of protective cover. He's in a roll to light maneuver capability, gets to the bay, takes off his protective gear so that there'll be room for the incoming patient. The patient comes in, obtunded, severe head injury. His immediate life-saving actions in the face of danger and under fire, because nobody knows what's coming in next, right? Let's be honest. And delivers life-saving care in a role 2, but he was using role 1 skills, folks. That role 1 care that the medics and the corpsmen deliver will be the single greatest and is the single greatest improver of battlefield survivability. That was true yesterday. That was true back in December. It'll be true tomorrow. And people like HM1 are the reason that survivability will be so good. Thanks to his family who's here, his mom Cheryl, girlfriend Stephanie, his two kids in Colorado, and I know they mean a lot to him. But I want to take the time to introduce and congratulate HM1 Joe Hardebeck.
Good morning, everyone. I came prepared with some words because I get nervous, so. Good morning, Admirals, Generals, Senior Enlisted, esteemed officials, the Armed Services, YMCA, its sponsors, family, and friends. Let me start by saying thank you for this honor. Being selected for this prestigious award is something I know all of us are grateful for. What an honor to be added to those who have come before us, and what a moment to reflect as we look to the future in our personal and professional lives. I also want to thank Commander Hoffman and CMC Elias, who are here representing my command. My CO, XO, and CMC and commander in the Pacific for an exercise. So thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Lastly, thank you to my girlfriend and my wonderful mother coming from Indiana to be here with me. In almost 18 years of service, I've come to learn that the real sacrifice falls on the support network of us in uniform. It is our families and friends who keep us going, and the ones that take the biggest and deepest hit each time we go out into the world. Wearing the cloth of this nation in support of its mission and objectives set forth by our leaders in support of our great country. Most people who know me more closely know that I can definitely carry dialogue for an extended period of time. Or in other words, I talk a lot. But I promise today, I'll keep it pretty short. I stand before you, selected as the Navy's Angel of the Battlefield for my actions during an event on my most recent deployment to Iraq. Being my third combat deployment in my career, I can say that each one has had their own unique impact on me and experiences. In my view, my participation in the events in Iraq are no different from what any other medical professional would have done in my position. Doing what is necessary to ensure our patients are taken care of as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and to get them to the highest levels of care. I take immense pride in my actions and the lives that I've been able to affect so far in my career. But one thing I have to say with absolute conviction, individual actions can create opportunity, but it's the entire team that finds success. Even now, as I reflect back on the events of Christmas Day, 2023 in Iraq, I appreciate the cohesion of our team and the combined efforts in the collection, treatment, and evacuation of our patient that day. Being bedside when events unfolded, I know we all had a key part to play in his treatment. And I say with a great deal of thankfulness that I am in contact with the family of that patient, and he is doing incredibly well and continues to improve. It is not often that in combat or trauma or emergency medicine that we get that follow-up with our patients, and that we get a peek into the other side of patient care, the recovery side. Being able to make that contact and relay that to my team, I cannot even begin to express the feeling of completion that brings, that full circle moment, if you will. I believe that being able to see a patient recover in any capacity is the true pinnacle of care. I wish continued success for the patient from my scenario, and also for all those affected in the events that got each of us selectees here today. Unfortunately, the fact remains that it was a person or persons' worst day for us to be recognized here. And I think it's vitally important to recognize that and be overly appreciative and compassionate to the recovery some of these patients, their caregivers, and their families may still be in. In closing, I would like to highlight the importance of action. An incredible amount of what we do in medicine is about decision-making and the action that follows. Every act of bravery, every courageous stand in the face of adversity first starts with a decision to act. From my perspective, indecision can be the indecision can be the enemy of opportunity and growth. I, unfortunately, have had a multitude of opportunities to act in a time of need and have very fortunately been able to use my training and act accordingly to stand in the way of death's door. I am filled with absolute confidence that the selectees here today all chose to act in the moments we have been selected for, and they will continue to do so as they move through their careers and lives. Congratulations once again to all of you, all of my fellow angels of the battlefield. Thank you again to Armed Services YMCA for the opportunity to stand here, and thank you for everyone who took part in this selection process. And again, thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you very much, Admiral Hawkins, for being here, and congratulations, Pastor Hardebeck, and thank you for those very significant words. Moving to the United States Air Force, here to present the Air Force Angel of the Battlefield Award, we are joined by Brigadier General Jason Lennon, the Director of Policy and Resources, Office of the Surgeon General, Headquarters, United States Air Force.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. General Brown, thanks for hosting, and Armed Services YMCA, thanks for putting on this great event. Thanks to each of the nominees and award recipients this morning for not only what you did on these particular events, but who you are as individuals. Because I have so much admiration and respect for each of the services, I'm rooting for a tie in the football game this year. So I have the honor this morning to introduce you all to Staff Sergeant Devin Jordan. Sergeant Jordan is an independent duty medical technician, IDMT, which is a highly capable Air Force medic that really we call the Jackson Jills of all trades. They're not only independent medical providers, but they serve as a pharmacy, a laboratory, a public health department, bioenvironmental engineering, dental, and a number of other things. So really highly capable, highly trained airmen. She's assigned to the 606th Air Control Squadron, which is a unit in Italy that provides tactical air combat, air command and control in the deployed environment, austere environments around USAFE and AFRICOM. In the deployed environment, none of us would be surprised at what Sergeant Jordan did on 22 October 2022. She would have simply been doing her job, although it would have been equally heroic if she did that in a deployed environment. On this occasion, however, she wasn't in a combat zone. She wasn't deployed. She wasn't even awake. So at about 4 o'clock in the morning, while sleeping, she heard a pretty severe motor vehicle accident crash outside of her apartment. And she could have slept through it. She could have just cast it off as a dream. She could have acknowledged it, stayed in the warmth and comfort of her bed and assumed somebody else would take care of it. She could have simply called EMS and been satisfied that she helped somebody out, but she didn't. She actually jumped out of bed, immediately took action without hesitation, like it was second nature, performed rapid assessment, got to the scene. This car had hit a couple of trees and a couple of light posts along the way. It was in pretty bad condition. She immediately identified 3 injured personnel, 2 of which were trying to pull the third one out of the vehicle. She immediately directed them to stop. She saw by the accident that there was a pretty significant risk of severe spinal injury, and when she assessed the patient, she confirmed that. She directed those members to refrain from doing so. She identified and stabilized a C-spine injury, and then she moved to treat the other 2 patients who also had injuries, all while continuously monitoring 3 patients and communicating vital signs and important information to her fiance, who was communicating to the Italian EMS and medevac to get on scene and take care of these patients. Ultimately, she saved a life, and she certainly prevented a lifelong debilitating injury of the one member. She did that as a result of her training, her instincts, and taking action. She chose to do the right thing when nobody was looking. She chose to put the well-being of others ahead of her own comfort. She chose to act, demonstrating the utmost leadership, competence, and character in doing so. It sounds a lot like our Air Force core values of integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Sergeant Jordan didn't choose to be a hero on that day, but she chose her actions, and we're glad her leadership and the Armed Services YMCA have recognized her heroism. She's absolutely deserving of the Angel of the Battlefield Award. I know Mom is here and equally proud of her. Chief Robbins and I, on behalf of our Air Force Surgeon General, Lieutenant General DeGoes, and our Chief of Medical Enlisted Force, Chief Master Sergeant Woods, are honored to recognize and thank Staff Sergeant Jordan for her actions. Thank you.
Good morning. I am equally as nervous, so bear with me. Firstly, I want to say thank you to the Armed Services YMCA for giving me this wonderful award. It means so much to me. I'm sincerely grateful and honored to receive this award. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the 3 individuals from the incident who made this possible. I'm a wee bit nervous. Give me a second. My voice is shaking. I know it's shaking. I'm an instructor and I know better. Thank you for entrusting me with your medical care. I wouldn't be standing here without their belief in my purpose, which is 100% to help others. I also want to thank my parents who raised me to be the woman I am today and instilled in me the gift of compassion, which I strive to bring into my work as an IDMT. It's especially meaningful to have my mother here today after 2.5 years apart. I have not seen my mom in 2.5 years. I've been TDY and deployed a lot. Additionally, I'm grateful to the military for providing me with the knowledge and expertise necessary to perform at my best during critical times, as well as navigating challenging situations effectively. Finally, a special thanks to my significant other who is watching via video right now, John Batiste, who has supported me during the incident and assisted with translation for higher echelon of care. Your endless support means the absolute world to me, and I wish you could be here with me right now. Thank you all for this incredible honor.
Well, congratulations, Sergeant Jordan, on your award, and thank you again to General Lennon. Our next award goes to a United States Coast Guardsman. To share more about this honoree story and present the Coast Guard Angel of the Battlefield, I'd like to welcome Rear Admiral Shane Steiner, the Executive Director, Health Services for the United States Coast Guard.
Right. Morning, everyone. General Brown, Admiral French, Admiral Williams, my other fellow flag and general officers, retired reserve and active duty, senior enlisted advisors, guests, friends, and family who are here to honor these angels of the battlefield. And most importantly, those of you who are being recognized with this award today. I'm representing today Rear Admiral Paul Jung, the Chief Medical Officer of the Coast Guard, who's not able to join us. I know he shares my admiration for the achievements of these brave, highly competent servicemen and women, and I can say it is an extreme privilege to be here today to recognize achievements such as these. I also want to take this opportunity to pass on the Coast Guard's gratitude to the Armed Services YMCA for their commitment for over 162 years to supporting and recognizing the junior enlisted personnel of our armed forces and their families. So the motto of the U.S. Coast Guard is Semper Paratus, always ready. And on the night of January 9th, 2024, Aviation Survival Technician Second Class Aaron Mulkey's actions exemplified that motto. His conduct also epitomized the Coast Guard's core values of honor, respect, and devotion to duty. Well aware that the waters of the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Sitka, Alaska, are rarely above 43 degrees Fahrenheit in January, AST-2 Mulkey knew that he had to act quickly when his team got the call to rescue 3 persons from a capsized catamaran. To set the stage, know that in 43-degree waters, for an unprotected swimmer, hypothermia can begin in as few as 9 minutes, with incapacitation likely in 30. Upon arrival to the scene, AST-2 Mulkey noted not only that it was dark, with freezing air temperatures, but that the sea state was, let's say, sea state 6, with waves approaching 15 feet in height. So let me sum up there. We got Alaska, January, dark of night, 43-degree waters, sea state 6. Just setting the scene there for y'all a little bit, okay? But he was undaunted. With consummate skill, he descended into the roiling water, rapidly sized up the situation, triaged which survivor's situation was most desperate, and realizing that the survivor was too seriously injured for a conventional rescue basket hoist, pulled the survivor to the capsized catamaran's hull, where he executed a sling recovery. Once he had the first survivor aboard the rescue helicopter, he descended 2 more times into the frigid, dark, stormy sea and rescued the remaining survivors. It's me a little bit. AST-2 Mulkey put the needs of those survivors ahead of his own, risking his life to help them. Additionally, he exemplified the ability to adapt in a changing and challenging operational environment by changing his plan from using a rescue basket to using a sling and employing the catamaran's capsized hull for emergency stabilization. I want you all to know that the Aviation Survival Technician rating is one of the most rigorous in the Coast Guard, with an average 73% attrition rate over the course of the A School at Aviation Technical Training Center, Elizabeth City. Even after completing the 24-week AST course, newly graduated ASTs must then complete Emergency Medical Technician B School training at Training Center Petaluma, and then undergo grueling qualification and upgrade training at their first permanent duty station. In light of AST-2's Mulkey's selfless service, it is safe to say that he has demonstrated that the faith that his instructors placed in him was well-deserved, and that he has carried on the honored tradition of the ASTs who have gone before him. AST-2 Mulkey, a hearty congratulations to you. Present those for you here. This is Michael, and on behalf of Admiral John.
Well, I actually found out I was speaking today. I didn't even know I was. So short and sweet. My career as a Coast Guard rescue swimmer actually started working at the YMCA in Phoenix, Arizona as a lifeguard. And my boss was like, go be a rescue swimmer. You're way too good for this. So I did. Anyway, thanks for my mom and dad for showing up. I want to thank the Lord for giving me the ability to have the strength and willingness to jump into these waters and save these people. Thank you, guys.
Well, congratulations, Pastor Mulkey, and thank you again to Admiral Steiner. The final honoree this year represents a category added to the Angels Awards just 2 years ago and goes to a member of the Defense Health Agency's civilian medical personnel. To share more about this civilian honoree, I'd like to introduce Brigadier General Deidre Tahan, the Director of Defense Health Network National Capital Region and the Chief of the U.S. Army Medical Special Corps.
You know, I was thinking last but not least does not even start to suffice for today's ceremony when you think of all the folks that have been honored here today. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really honored to be here today to represent Lieutenant General Crossland, the Director of the Defense Health Agency. And I also want to extend my warm thanks to the Armed Services YMCA for hosting this ceremony to recognize the heroes of military medicine every year. And recognizing the civilian workforce who support that. As many of you might not know, there's 140,000 people that support the military medicine around the globe, and 60,000 of those, or 40%, are civilians. And so we're really appreciative of this new category. And what you'll hear, I think the trend across all the folks that have been recognized today is that all these folks didn't set out that day to be a hero. They all had amazing training. And when the opportunity was available to them to step up and act, they didn't shy away from it. And that is no different than our civilian angel of the battlefield today, which has had a lifelong service of public support to folks here in the DC area. So I'm really honored today to speak of our civilian angel this year, Miss Karina Smith, a health technician who currently works at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. I think you might have heard of that place before. Who I and Captain Austin have the ability to oversee and have the honor to do that every day. Karina embodies selfless service that you will find throughout the civilian workforce that's here to support your medical needs. For over 2 decades, Karina has been serving the public as a healthcare professional. She came to us from Brazil and then became a young mother that entered public service fueled by a love for her adopted country, her love for people, and a belief in accessible quality care for those in our country. She first worked for the Red Cross, where she organized life-saving blood drives throughout the DC metro area and saved countless lives through those blood drives. In May of this year, Karina was working at the Armed Services Blood Program Drive at Fort George G, Maryland. A military spouse. I just want you to remember, you go into a blood drive, you're thinking this is a very low risk situation, right? Very low risk. You're wanting to save others. And she goes into, a military spouse comes in to donate blood. After she finished donating her blood, you kind of sit there and eat the cookies and the juice, right? And it's supposed to be just kind of a little bit time. There's a science behind why you have to wait. And in this day, that patient actually became unresponsive. She had lost her consciousness for over 60 seconds. Karina, who is well-trained, jumped into action, recognized immediately that she was without pulse and not breathing. She directed the team to call EMS. She coordinated the care in that case, had the corpsmen start springing into action, and they started life support. And after a round of 7 chest compressions, the donor finally regained consciousness. And I want you to realize that that family is whole because of the actions of Karina that day, and recognizing when you're supposed to be over there eating your cookies and drinking your juice, that something went wrong. And I really want to make sure you realize how hard that is when you're kind of overseeing a whole blood drive and you know the overall risk is low in those situations, to be able to be that observant and that on top of your game to act so quickly. Because if she wouldn't have acted as quickly as it did, the results could be very different. Everyone in this room knows that there are many ways to serve your country. And Karina, we are so thankful that your dedication, your humanity, and your public service is to support those in our military. With this singular incident of saving the life of an individual in crisis is both memorable and important. We are fortunate to have you on our team each and every day. Thank you for the dedication to our nation. I'm deeply honored and privileged to present the 2024 Civilian Angel of the Battlefield to Miss Karina Smith.
Just bear with me for a minute. I'm as well nervous and didn't know I had to say anything till a little bit earlier this morning. Okay. Dear Angels of Battlefield, I am truly honored to receive this recognition for saving a life while working with the Armed Services Blood Program. Your acknowledgement inspires me to continue my efforts in serving others, and I am grateful for the vital work you all do. I also like to express my heartfelt thanks to my family for their unwavering support. Your presence made this moment even more meaningful. Thank you all for your encouragement and for the incredible impact you make in our communities. And I'd also like to thank the Armed Services, YMCA, and the DHA. Okay.
Thank you very much, General Tahan, and congratulations to Ms. Smith. As we close today's event, it's important that we also recognize and thank the honorees' loved ones who are with us here in person, and also those that are tuning in via live stream. So let's give our honorees one more round of applause. Thank you again to American Airlines and all of today's event sponsors for making today's event possible. This concludes the 18th Annual Angels of the Battlefield Award press event and ceremony, and we invite you to join us for a reception next door. Thank you.
Very